Hey everybody, how's it going? I have been talking to people about property valuations a lot recently, so I thought I would share some of the things that we've been discussing. So because of Brexit, because of the uncertainty in the market, because of the election, there's been loads of issues when it comes to property valuations for funding purposes. And one thing I've always said is that when you look at the transaction, a finance transaction, when you're purchasing a property, you've got all the people that are involved. You've got your buyer, your seller, your solicitors, your broker, your lender, and you've got your surveyor. Of all of those people, the only people that get paid to do their job, no matter whether they actually do a good job of it or not, or whether they value the property how it's meant to be valued, they will get paid regardless. And I'm not saying that's not me being horrible and negative towards surveyors. It's just a matter of life. They have no incentive to value the property up or at the value that a buyer wants it to value up at. And you know, when there is issues in the market, when there's a little bit of uncertainty, this does have a negative knock-on effect. I've actually had a case recently where we had a down valuation of £200,000 on what we wanted the valuation to come in at. And there are a couple of reasons for this, and I think this adds to sort of a wider list of things that if you want to make sure that your property values up and values right, how you can give yourself the best chance of doing this. And this story is a good sort of starter to allow to give you a bit of an idea of some of the things that you need to do. So first and foremost, this property down valued by 200,000. It was in the St John's Wood area of London. Very, very good quality, high affluent area of North London, probably one of the most affluent areas of North London. So and yeah, the property down valued. Now, two big issues occurred here, and I have complained, and I have made you know, we have appealed, and basically two reasons why this happened. Number one, the panel of surveyors asked, considering, like I said, it was in North London, St John's Wood, they actually asked a surveyor from Grays in Essex to go and value the property. Their understanding of the local area is not going to be sufficient. So that's the big problem that we had to start with. Problem number two was that they used three comparables, as they always do with other local properties that have sold recently. They have to be within 6 months. Two of those were in March this year, outside of the 6 months bracket, not suitable. The one that was within 6 months was in September, and it was the property was in a dire state of repair, and should not have been a comparable as a result. So how does this help us? So what we need to make sure is that when we are organising these valuations, that we are ensuring that the right valuer is going round. Has the valuer got experience in the local area? Let's try and find out who the surveyor is going to be before they go out and waste our time with a dire valuation like the one that we've just got. That's number one. Number two is, let's do some research first. Let's help the valuer out. Let's actually find some comparables. Let's use Land Registry or Mouse Price or something like that to actually find properties in the local area that are comparable, that are similar, and that have sold, and what they've sold for, so that we can actually figure out if what we're trying to get as a valuation is completely realistic, or if it's wildly in excess of where it should be. In certain instances, you might say, well, actually, it's what we're thinking of is a little bit below, and maybe we should be pushing for a slightly higher valuation, which is great if you're trying to get some extra funds out of the property. So really good to do your research. Now, I've had mixed feedback from surveyors on this, but the vast majority say if they're presented with information that's helpful prior to the valuation taking place, they see that as a massive, massive positive. They see it as really helpful to them. If you think about it, you've got a job to do and somebody helps you by doing half your job for you, you're going to see that as a massive positive, and you're going to see that as really beneficial to you. And the likelihood really is then that you're going to probably get more likely to get the valuation you want, or at the very least, you're more likely to actually not get a down valuation, which is pretty much the same but slightly different. So there are a couple of things that you can certainly do. Some people say, well, if you do that, you're kind of being a bit condescending to the valuer. I disagree. I think we're helping the valuer out, and as a result, you know, we can make their job just a little bit easier, and it helps them. So so yeah, we are seeing down valuations. However, on the flip side of things, we are looking at, look, we've just had the election. Things are looking a lot more stable. We've got a majority government. That's really, really good. So it bodes well that in the new year we're going to have less problems than we have done previously. Yeah, look, hopefully this will have a positive impact, and we're going to see less of these down valuations in future, which ultimately is going to lead to more certainty, quicker transactions, and it's going to help us out. So look, if you are struggling with valuations, take heed of those two little snippets of advice there. Make sure you got the right valuer going in. Make sure that the comparables are right. Do some work, create a little pack beforehand. It's definitely gonna benefit you going forward. And these are the kind of things that you should be doing as a property investor anyway. You should definitely be looking at ways to give the valuer as much information as possible, and to give yourself the best possible chance of getting the value that you want, because most of my clients need them to value up because they're looking to release equity to further increase their property portfolio. So look, hopefully you found that interesting and insightful. I do like to do these little quick snippets of video to give you bits of little updates, almost like a bit of a vlog, if you like, on what's going on in the market to help you guys as investors. So if you've got any ideas on things that you want me to talk about, feel free. You know, this is going to go out on my new podcast in the new year. It's going to go, which is property related. It's going to go on YouTube. So so whatever it is that you're watching or listening to this on, comment below with some ideas. Any recent experiences that you've had, hit me up in DMs on Instagram and Facebook, and with any ideas you've got for future videos or questions you want answered, and I'm more than happy to help you out. Right, I'm off to get some cat food now, and I'll see you on the next one. Enjoy whatever you're doing today. Thanks.